in my lack of knowledge of self, I am the creator of my existence. So whatever I cannot control is because I cannot control it. I don't ascribe it to an external because I feel like I'm not taking accountability. I'm in the traffic because I chose to drive and I'm dealing with it, and it's okay. And there are things I cannot work around, and that's also okay. This is not me saying I can explain it. It's me saying I don't have all the answers and it's fine. But to get to a point where I'm so desperate and someone's got a gun to my head and I'm like, yo, if there's a God out there, please, I'm begging you.
It's never happened?
Because I've gone through aggressive atheism, I borrow from that at some point. I'm like, if there's a God out there and you got me here, I don't ever want to meet you. I don't ever want to meet you. I'm okay. If this is a test or whatever, that's fine. But I don't want to pass this test. And you're like, you passed the test. I'm like, you know, your father puts you through so much pain. Have you seen V for Vendetta?
Old movie.
V for Vendetta, the Wachowskis. You get put through this extreme test. And it's like, I did this because I love you, Job. The way I'm wired, whether I'm a broken human or I'm Satan's child or I'm a heathen, whatever you want to say it, whatever I've been put through, if someone comes and says, you see, you're strong now because of me, I'll be like, yo, thank you. That's really brilliant. You see, I'm the one. I'm like, I don't want you anywhere near me. Thank you for the strength and the what, but you're not the person I want to follow. Because this doesn't make sense in my being. I don't want this. God is the knower of all things, is the Alpha and the Omega. He knows why there was the transatlantic slave trade and why children are molested and the what. That's okay. You believe in that? You believe God knows everything. That's okay. I don't believe in that. I'm like, this consciousness that I'm seeing, if I can't effect change, it's okay. There's only so much I can do. But I don't ascribe it to something else. And worse, I'm not going to be like, no, that's not God. That's Satan. How? So there's things where he doesn't have power or we are decider, or I'm like, no, man, this in my head, my stupid human rational brain doesn't make sense. My levels of faith don't allow me to play in that realm. And I'm okay with being wrong. And it's not easy. It's not easy. You do hope for, I guess, what we call divine intervention. Like the person pulls the trigger and then it doesn't, hey, let's bomb, listen. I'm like, I don't say that's God. I was in a car accident with my brother, my son at the time, who was very young, and some friends. And my mom and our neighbor, a lady, came to fetch us. And she's very religious. So the first thing she said to me is, you know, one of the reasons you survived is because I'm sure at some point you lost consciousness and you weren't in control. That's when God took the wheel. I'm like, I was fully aware at all times. I was fully aware at all times of what was going on. I don't want to say the devil made me do it. No, I think this was God. This was me. And the God and Satan are within me. And I need to arm wrestle within myself to be godly, goodly, and to try and fight the evil. And if I can fight all of that externally, let it be. Because my view of what God and religion is starts from the premise of human. I believe that all our concepts of higher beings are because someone started telling us stories and we bought into it. And I'm like, I think I have the ability to reject a story. You might like it. I don't. Why do I have to be Zulu? Why do I have to be South African? No, but I'm like, that's good for you. I'm part of the less than 1% that's like, I'm one of the people that can create a South African nation. And I'm going to do it. And you may not like it, but it's okay.
Who's that guy that did that TED Talk? I think you're not
Yuval Noah Harari.
Yeah, he says the difference between animals and human beings is that animals can't be convinced into a story.
Fictional reality.
Whereas human beings can be convinced into anything.
Bitcoin, diamonds.
Anything, Christianity, anything, they can be convinced into it. Because at the COVID, anything that you believe in, we can trace it from somewhere. It's not like you're the first person to believe in that thing. We can trace that, in the family, there were people that believed in this thing, and it becomes generational.
So that's what makes you and I lost sheep. And maybe at some point we'll get a divine intervention and we'll convert. But for now, we're still lost sheep. And we're like, hey, don't send me home. I'm fine in the streets.
I really want to move on to the last question. But if you did have some supernatural experience, you take psychedelics one day and you see the heavens open and Jesus come down and say, my son, would you change your mind? Would you come back onto this platform and share your story and say, guys, I've had an encounter?
And then that image of Christ is the one that we see.
Would your Akizi man, it was an example. I actually shouldn't have used Christianity. I shouldn't have used Christianity, Buddha, whatever.
Bono Nicki Minaj, it's fair. You're like, hey, divine intervention. I'm a believer.
I shouldn't have used the Christian, or, just God, a godly cloud. Say, Penuel, my son, you're getting it all wrong. Would you come onto this platform and share that?
I think I've proven that I would. For the fact that I'm saying that I went through aggressive atheism and I've come around. It's because in my journey of trying to at least figure myself out, where I thought people were stupid for buying into religion, I'm like, no, people need something to hold on to. And if that's something they're holding on to, when I ask them, the overwhelming bulk of it is goodness. It's not for me to question, because can I offer them an alternative? And I'm like, but this is a good person and it's okay. For other people who are misusing that same thing, I have an issue. So if I encountered whatever it may be, I'd probably be the first person to make a video about it. I'd probably be one of the first people. But if people that know me now should ask questions, because Kanye West, Jordan Peterson, Andrew Tate, maybe I'll add Vusi Tembagwayo as well. I've consumed a lot of their content and I've listened to how they question the world. And for them overnight to all of a sudden be very holy, I don't buy it. I think it's convenient. I can become Christian next year and speak at all the churches and how I found Jesus and Christ and I'm now protected and I'm now blood washed. And I was a lost sheep and the Lord found me and I was so fallible. I thought I was my own God. Imagine, guys, I thought I was a God. I'd want anyone who knew me to be like, we hear him, it's cool, but please just watch your back, because this guy warned us. Is he making more money now than he did then? Who is he sitting with now that he didn't at the time? Has he been accused of a heinous crime? No, the devil, Ariella. Just watch and ask a few questions, because that's how my brain works. And for the weird people like me, I'm like, do the same. Stay woke. Be on your toes, because this world is run by people with agendas.
Gun to your head, you had to be part of a religion today, not Penuelism. Which religion?
In South Africa.
Anyway.
In South Africa.
African spirituality, Buddhism, Baha'i, Christianity.
So I had like an immediate answer, but then I recoiled. But Islam in South Africa.
Was that the immediate answer?
That was the immediate answer. I think the way Islam is run in South Africa, I think it's the number one religion that would help so many Black African families. Islam. There are so many things about it that are so beautiful. It has problems in certain parts of the world, but in the African, South African context, number one for a lot of guys, things like polygamy, and it's practiced clean. It's not now whatever. The idea of women who are still old school women, nurturing the kids and generally stay at home, submit, what. The guys are head of the house. Muslim men in South Africa go out to go and hustle for their families and they build. They pray 5 times a day. They don't drink. Alcohol is a huge problem in our country. They disciplined. They work together. I think Christianity in South Africa is too relaxed. It's too liberal. Islam is dope. I almost recalled because I thought of Judaism. But then I thought of, even things like how beautiful our Black women are. A game changer. One of the things next to alcoholism we don't speak about is sexualization and casual sex. I think it's one of the drugs that's actually part of our downfall. The idea of covering the majority of Black women would take away all of those things. We'd probably have to watch porn or whatever. But you cover Black women. Now all your carnal desires are shut down. And you can focus because the women are covered. All of a sudden, you just have to respect them. Black guys, outside of other groups, the way a Black guy engages a Muslim woman versus an average Black woman already tells you a lot.
Yep.
Where you'll be like, Black men are so disrespectful. Bring a Muslim woman in front of him. And watch what happens. That same disrespectful guy. Yeah. In the same way, when you find a rural girl, or Zotile, or Shonpayo, that same disrespectful guy Game changer.